Well, hey C3, it's Austin here. Glad to be joining you. We're continuing our study with the staff through the book of Acts. And this week we're in Acts chapters 19 and 20. And here's what you'll see in these chapters. You'll see Paul in Ephesus. It's pretty crazy how little the people know about the Holy Spirit and about his ministry and about all these different things. So Paul does a lot of teaching, does a lot of preaching, spends a lot of time with people in Ephesus. You'll also see a riot happen in Ephesus. These silversmiths are mad because really Paul is saying all these idols that are made by men aren't really gods, right? So they're losing money, and this riot happens in Ephesus. You'll also see Paul's preaching put a young man to sleep, which is unlike anything we see today. No, I'm just kidding. It's definitely like what we see today sometimes. I've seen it in my own preaching that I can put some people to sleep. But really it culminates kind of in what stood out to me the most in these couple chapters is this interaction at the end of chapter 20 where Paul is heading back to Jerusalem. He feels compelled by the Spirit to go back to Jerusalem. And he calls for the Ephesian elders. He stops in Miletus, a nearby town, and he calls for the Ephesian elders, and he tells them, "You know how I've lived. You know that I've preached the gospel. You know how I live my life, right? And the example that I set for you guys. But I feel like I need to go back to Jerusalem, and I don't think I'm going to see you guys again." This is pretty intense because we're talking about like this missionary journey that's in these two chapters. It's 3 to 4 years of Paul's life, right? And at least 2.5 of those years are spent with the people of Ephesus, with the church in Ephesus. So this is a very emotional interaction with the Ephesian elders. And he says, be on your guard, and keep preaching the gospel, because I consider my life nothing if I don't finish the task that Jesus has given me to preach the gospel. And I don't know about you, but that's a question I ask myself. Do I have that same kind of passion for the gospel that Paul had as he lived his life, that nothing else mattered? I want you to think about what's your takeaway from these two chapters as you read this week. Even write in the comments of this video. We'd love to hear from you. We love you guys. Let's dig into the Word together this week. We'll see you soon.